What's up, everybody? Welcome to the broadcast. On today's pond draining video, we have got one heck of a pond project here. It's a little bitty. It's not a big pond across, but it's just filled in with sediment and just all that mess. This started out, I'm sure, as a sediment trap or sediment pond when they were building all of this. So we've got to get it cleaned out. All the way up to here. We're going to set up that 3-inch trash pump and we're going to start pumping it down, and then we'll be letting it sit for a month to dry out. Step number 1, unload and set up the pump. We'll start pumping this pond down. She does have a couple of stumps we want to pull while it's pumping down. So we're going to have all kinds of fun today. It is going to be a hot one today. Out yet. I just need to make way for my pump. Right about in here is where I want. It's getting up crazy. That's a whole tree right there. I had me a turtle over here a minute ago, so I don't want to hurt him at all. Shoot, that's stagnant water, folks. There ain't nothing nice smelling about that. Alright, let's set that pump up. Alright. Since I got so many turtles, I'm going to use my bucket as a catch basin just to get things started. Now if them turtles come into that bucket on their own accord, that'll be on them. Discharge hose good and straight. Don't want kinks in here. Got plenty of poison ivy though. Oh yeah, she's a pumping. I had a clog already because I put that too deep and there's a bunch of hair-like stuff. So I'm going to use my excavator bucket catch basin to just let this pond get pulled down. You see, it's really doing good. I'll be able to shove that bucket down in the mud, and any surface water that's left in the bottom of that pond can just pour in over those edges. She's doing a fine job. You can tell that that water level's dropping because you see more of a current as it drops down on those teeth. It's gonna pull this pond dry in no time. I got a bucket under here so there's not a kink coming out. Show you what kind of, I ran it as straight through the woods as I could. This here is poison. 3 leaves, looks like a mitten on 2 of them, and then the middle one has symmetrical sides. I'll have to not touch my shirt. She's a putting water out, folks. That's a 3-inch hose. Look at that. It's pulled that pond down to the point that it couldn't pick up any more water. So I'm gonna try to get it plenty more deep. If you pull that end out of the water completely and it pumps it out, you'll lose prime. Trying to find me a deeper spot here. I'd say I had a hole dug here the other day, just kind of testing out. We'll let it pull on down there. Then I may just turn my pump off and I get lost prime. Looks like it's trying to lose prime. We'll let it run for a minute and see how it do. I don't know if I got it on film, but on top of these pumps, right there's a cap. You fill a bucket up with water or a water hose and you pump that full, put your cap on, turn it on. It's ready to pump. Got a good little whirlpool going. Oh yeah, it's dropping this pond like nothing. I'll check back in when I'm getting ready to dig the sump hole to really pump this out. I've done about everything I can do. You see that little head sticking up? So what I'm gonna do is kill my pump. I'm gonna pull that intake out, or suction hose end. That out of my way. Run, little turtle, run. Look at that. What a mess. Don't worry, little turtle, I won't drop it on top of you. I'm gonna try to get my grass all along the side. Luckily, these streams that are running into the pond are not like fast flowing. The reason I'm doing this, I don't necessarily want all this just having mud piled on top of it. Bottom is actually really hard. So what I'm going to do now is a little bit more grass. I'm going to create a catchment area directly in line with where I'm going to install my pipe. So my pipe is going to go right. Scuff me a little guide here. There are pipes in there. Now let's see if we can get some. I think I got the pipe. Yep, there it is. There's 3 pipes in there, I think. There's 2 or 3. So we're going to just go ahead and dig us a hole here. There's clay. See how hard that is? It ain't like sloppy mud. It's a firm bottom. But I want this end to be extra deep so all the pond water can drain. It's not super sludgy. If I see my turtle, I'll catch him and help him out. make slow progress around here, making my catchment area. Giving my turtles time to move. And anybody that thinks that all turtles are slow, you wrong. You haven't seen a turtle move until you're digging in his home. He'll get out the way pretty quick. That's heavy right there. Let's see if we can just go ahead and force just a little bit of mud here. I think we've probably got enough to drain it a touch more. Let's see how deep that is now. Oh yeah, see, we got some good deep catchment area. Let's just get it right here too. That time. There's not much left. See how hard that bottom is? Oh yeah, that's rock. We've hit clay and rock, so we're deep enough. Clean our bucket out. We'll get back to pumping. Well, what we've got going on now is I'm just going to dip water out because there's so much grass that's been pulled to this end of the pond that just keeps clogging the trash rack. I could probably pull the trash rack off and pump, be okay, but there's really no point when I can pull a cubic yard of water out of this thing pretty quick at a time, about every 15 seconds. So I'm going to keep on dipping water out and we'll check back in. I thought this might be a good thing for you guys to see. Notice the mud right here when I dip this water out. Now the pump probably wouldn't be as bad, but it just keeps getting clogged, so I'm dipping this out. Now watch what happens when I lift that water out suddenly. See that mud starting to slide? That is what would end up washing downstream if we just busted this dam without pumping the water down. Notice again how it's affected. The faster you move the water out, how fast that mud slides. That's just the primary reason why I'm doing this the way that I am and not just willy-nilly coming in and cutting the trench in the dam. Also, you don't really have control when you start to dig the dam out and the water starts to flow out of the dam. You really don't have control of stopping that water. At any time here, I could have stopped the pump. I could stop dipping water out like this. At any time, I can stop the flow of water, and I'm not causing any erosion by dumping into these weeds over here. Now, if I saw it starting to wash weeds loose, I would either dump it easier or slower, but you'll be able to see here in a minute the hole that I dug here to be able to dig in below the current bottom of the pond, and that's what allows me to get all the water out of this pond. These kind of projects are a lot of fun, and you can see, watch how fast that bucket stops. See, there was no slow, it didn't slow down and sink into anything. There's just a hard clay bottom in this pond, and that's what's going to make it possible for me to just drive this machine into the pond. Now, if I'm wrong, y'all get to see this thing buried and a video of us getting it out. So either way, this is going to be a fun project. I think it is. But every time I'm dipping into here, about a cubic yard of water's coming out. So that mud sliding in. I'll be able to stay here this evening and keep that mud away from my pipe. And that mud will slowly become less liquid, as Senor Let's Dig 18 says. And I'll be able to grab that mud and stack it up over here. Oops. We're gonna tear the devil out of this yard anyway when we come in to start hauling and dredging out. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna dip this on out and you guys can rejoin me when I go to put the pipe, or pull the existing pipes out and put the new pipe in. Next phase of the mission, I've got my grading bucket on. Well, that frog took off, didn't he? Now I'm just going to kind of take this old sludge, put it up here as softly as possible so it doesn't just slide back down. That stuff is heavy. So what I'm wanting to do, add a little air in there, is round this bowl out down here so it's not so steep-sided, and that way the mud won't slide as badly. It's going to be kind of a fighting battle here for a little while until that mud starts to drain off and dry a little bit. Does that slide? That's not what I wanted. So it's still a little bit soft, so while that drains off, see, we don't have a whole lot of water sitting right there. Well, let's just go ahead and jerk these pipes out of here. I feel confident enough to dig these pipes out right here. I'm gonna get the grass off the top. That stuff's junk, so it's gonna need to go bye-bye with all the other junk. Let's just go ahead and open this up real good for me to work. Guess you guys don't want me getting bounced crazy bad, huh? Strip that sod right off the top. Let me pull a lot of dirt out of this hole in a minute. See those pipes? I think they come out pretty close to the top here. Let's put this grass here where I've been dumping all that water. That'll help with any washing or erosion. And we're going to dress every bit of this area back up. See, there wasn't even water flowing through those drain pipes, is the thing. That wind's dead. I'm going to end up breaking it off. Yep. Said it was. Must not be too dead. Let's get this grass out the way here. And just a little bit of rock in there. see if we can get them pipes pulled out. Now the good thing is this pipe does not have to be watertight. I mean, not too much, because we're not going to back the pond up. It's just going to give the water runoff something to run through so it doesn't wash our dam. And whoever did this dam did a good job, because that stuff is packed hard. I'm not going to try to save those pipes. Kick this grading bucket off, put our digger bucket back on, and then I'll enable the thumb. I can't wait until one day I can afford a machine where I don't have to get off and do all this. Let's just go ahead and pull this junk out. That's some old single wall pipe. Total junk. I don't think there's anything necessarily like you guys will super benefit from watching this in real time, but we'll do this part in real time, why not? That pipe's clean, I know that. Don't you love that? I can't stand a single wall pipe. To me, it's the most useless thing when it comes to something like this. Let's see where these pipes come out at, shall we? I wish I could put a pond leveler in for these folks. I think they'd be glad to do it once it's done. I need to put those rubber gussets where my thumb slides to the base of the stick. Well, there's another one. It just slides side to side. My pins and bushings are tight. That knocking is just that thumb sliding side to side. That's what's the racket. And when we come back to do this dredging, I'm going to end up building on my head wall. Golly, what a stunt. Let's go ahead and take that out too. See all that water right there is trickling in. That's that pond drying out. That's what we want. That's what we want, folks. See how dry the end of this is? That is bone dry. There wasn't a bit of water going through there, so I think this dam was probably leaking. And that may be part of the, look at that water snake down there. See him down there? All kinds of animals living up in here. My wife saw two black bear running through our yard today. I'll say they laid the pipe in here. Now let's go ahead and get this muckety muck here. And we're just going, well, they laid the plastic to it too. That's some mucky stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and dig this back. Oh, that's not bad rock. We'll leave that rock in there. Well, see, that's some pretty good material right there. That's not bad. We'll use that. pipe turned down. That's what that was. See how dry the inside pipe is? Not a thing in there. Oh yeah, those pipes run all the way down to the bottom. Well, I guess I don't have to grab that pipe. So they had two little, was it like maybe a 15 or 14? It's hard to say. What I'm going to do is put this drain pipe that I'm putting in on the slope. This single wall, it'll flex. That's the only good thing about it. Now we're ready to bust this dam loose. Get this thing draining the rest of the way. And what I'm going to do is go down as far as this thing here. I'm going to pull us a trench on through. Guide me on digging the rest of my trench in. I'm just going to follow that trench on out. We'll check back in shortly. Let's see how that do. How far through that went. I think that'll be alright. Just move him on back just a touch. That'll take some water now. Permanent, and for what I'm wanting to do, it'll be just fine. Plenty good. Let's roll film for a few minutes so you guys can see what I'm doing. I just want to have them a little land bridge since it's going to be a month before we get back. traffic. That's all we need. Alright, I'm gonna get this thing filled on back in and we'll check back in. Progress is being made, I think. We've got a bunch of old trash pipe, some muckety muck, big pile of fill dirt. My pipe wasn't quite long enough to run out, but it's long enough to do the job that we're wanting to do. We got pretty good drainage. What's going to happen next time it rains real hard, there'll be little channels cut, more than likely. And that'll help this drain even better. See all the oily stuff? It's messy, 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 messy. All is gonna dry out real nice over the month. We're gonna pick up our trash pump. I'm just gonna stick it in the bed of the truck with all that trash pipe. I don't wanna leave this place just looking absolutely nasty. So let me do some quick cleanup work and we'll go over this in just a minute. Boom, there it is. We got our pump all cleaned up. I took that grassy stuff that we pulled out and just laid it across this little dam to help keep it from eroding. We got a pretty good run. You can see that that's collapsing over there. We're gonna have all kinds of runs in here that are extra backfill material there. I just kind of smoothed this out so it wouldn't be too much of an eyesore for the month that this thing is just going to sit. My plan is to take that excavator and drive it straight into there like a fool in about a month. You guys drop it in the comment. Let's take a vote. Is Digging Life going to get stuck horribly, or is this actually going to dry out really well? That right there is firm ground just below the surface of the water. So you can see how much muck we've got in there. About 24 to 36 inches thick. Obviously I'm going to push the mud down in here, but we got to get in there to do that. Hopefully we don't get stuck. I really don't want to get stuck. But if we do get stuck, we can hook some chains up, bring the Mac, which yes, we still have the Mac. I finally got it up and running. Had to go through a few more things. That'll be in a future video. So again, you guys comment, is Digging Life going to get stuck, or will we be able to dredge this little pond out with that excavator? we shall see. Thanks for joining me, guys. I had a great time making this video for you, and best thing you guys can do to help this hillbilly out is like, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We love you, and we will see you on the next one.